Hi, I'm Caleb Coots, plant biologist here at TEVA Corp. I'm sitting with Mark Coots, CEO and president of TEVA Corporation. So we see in the news a lot, humic acids, humates coming up. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of different companies coming out with different kind of humic acid products and stuff like that. And you know, you have your dry humates, you have liquid and things like that that's out there. So there's some things about them that we need to take a look at, you know, on when we're looking at products like that. So the dry products are very good. You know, they're basically what humates are mined or, you know, decomposed organic matter from hundreds of years ago, and they're mining that. And so what it does is just helps build your organic matter in the soil back, which we've lost over time. You know, it's getting lower, you know, the more we farm and things like that. So it's got its place, you know, to help build those back to us and everything. So, but the availability to the plant, you know, in the dries is a little bit less than it is, you know, when you're looking at the different kinds of liquids that are out there and stuff. So.
I mean, what if I'm on short-term ground? I don't know if I'm going to get to rent it. Is there something I can use that's maybe more short-term or more directly to my plant, more readily available?
Yeah, that's a good question. What we look at, you know, on that thing is in humic acid, you've got three kinds of acids. You've got humate, fulvic, and humic. And they all have different functions, you know, but the fulvic acid of that is the Cadillac of the acids in the humic acid there. So if you're wanting to get anything to the plant, then the fulvic acid is something that you want to use. The humic acid is great for building soil structure, feeding biological life, that sort of thing like that. But molecularly, it is too big to get into the plant, so it's not a good one to foliar feed with or anything like that. If you want to go on the soil with it or, you know, in row with it, it will help to the roots, but it can't go into the roots or into the plant because molecularly it's too big. And that's where the fulvic acid is one of the smallest molecular things, and what fulvic acid does is it wants to attract nutrients with it, you know, NPK, traces, and things like that. Mainly, a lot of the times, mostly traces, and take those into the plant because molecularly it's small enough to go ahead and pull those into the plant. So what you have to be careful with, though, is on all these kinds of different liquids that are out there, most of them are just taking dry humates and liquefying that, and you know, and you're ending up with a product that settles out, and you end up with a bunch of stuff in the bottom. It's mainly humic acid, so it's not good that you can foliar feed with it or anything like that. Our product CCAT that we've had and done research with, now going on 16 years with it, is a fulvic acid product. And what we're doing there is we're actually extracting out the fulvic acid out of the dry humates. And when we use that product then we can foliar feed with it as well as put it in the soil.
So is fulvic acid just a chelating agent or help get nutrients in, or does it do a little more than that?
No, it is a chelating agent, but it does more than that too. The way that it works, you know, like I said, if you wanted to look up fulvic acid, you know, and Google it as a farmer, you know, it's going to tell you it's the best chelating agent that, you know, a farmer can use. But it does that. What it wants to do is it wants to attract nutrients with it as well, you know, so it wants to attract NPK, but mainly your traces. It wants to help get your traces into the plant. So, and the way that it does that, it actually makes the membranes on the cells and stuff more permeable so that it can get into the plant more efficiently and everything. That's what fulvic acid does. So it is a chelating agent, but that's how it's actually working, is it's actually making things more permeable to get in there.
So no matter what I'm putting down, whether it be a fungicide, an insecticide, herbicide, it's going to help get it in there because it's got more permeable cells?
That's right. Yeah, it's going to help translocate that into the plant that you want it to be. And by itself, it can still, even if you decide not to apply it by itself, we have plenty of data on, like our product CCAT that's a fulvic acid, that gives the plant energy, you know, to just to go, even if you don't pair it with another thing. But if you do pair it with other things, then you definitely will get better efficiency out of them and everything.
So we see a lot of these, problem with a lot of these humic acid products out there is they seem to have a really high pH. Is that a concern that we should be looking out for?
Well, I think it can be, yes. I mean, if you're going to end up trying to foliar feed anything and it's got a high pH, then you've got a chance of burning, you know. And so that's what's happening is most of those cases, they're just taking dry humates and liquefying them and throwing potash in there. That helps keeps those humates in suspension. And so when you do that, potash being a salt, you're going to have a higher pH on it, and then you'll have problems with it. Whereas like a product like CCAT, you're going to have a neutral pH. It's got a pH of 7.0, and therefore you can foliar feed with it. It mixes pretty well with anything, you know, because of it having a neutral pH, and it's just a more versatile product to be able to use then.
All right, well, thanks for helping us understand that a little more.
Thank you.